Howdy folks, it's your favorite farmer Steve with probably the last video of the year. And it isn't because I really planned it that way, it's that because the weather is going to dictate it. We've had 2 very cool weeks, very wet weeks, and there is nothing else going to grow. It's whatever is here is here. There's going to be a few things creep along, but we're just about done. We're going to start shutting it down. I'm going to take apart the central watering system today. I'm going to need that. I'll show you the peppers that are left, the tomatoes. We'll do the squash harvest, which will be good, but there isn't going to be much else to do except some winterizing, which yeah, maybe we'll do another shot of that. But with the frost warnings last night and coming up this week, we are just about done. So one more trip around at least. Okay, well, this is one of the better days we've had in quite a while, so that's why I decided to get out here. Here's just a quick update on the latest. There's the mushroom log, and it's just chillaxing there in the forest. Now, over right down there, these are some wood chips and dirt from some stumps I had ground out, and I guess that's kind of an ideal mixture for if you're going to make beds of mushrooms. Some mushrooms grow great in beds and others on logs, and this could be the mushroom farm. I'm not going to do anything this year. I'll wait till next year, then I'll add to it. But they love leaves and they love wood chips. Usually have plenty of all of those around, and it's close to a watering source, so hopefully that will be another food source here. Alright, down to what's left in the garden here, and as you can see, I got rid of the cucumbers. They were just dead, and I got rid of the beans. Those have all been cooked up, and I spread the squash out to see if it would do any better, and also to get some of the grass and weeds out. So you can see what we're going to end up with here. You can count them up. I think I have about 10. There's a few like this one that are not ready yet. I will not harvest that. I'll let it go. And the pumpkin we'll pick for sure. And there's another pumpkin back here that guess I'll let that go a little while longer. Here's our giant cleome that Carol wants the seeds from those. And there's a few tomatillas, and I mean a few, that are, yeah, we'll pick those and maybe get one batch of verde out of it. And then I'll probably just start pulling up these vines of the squash that I don't really need anymore. Now this is what's kind of a shame. I've got all of these nice tomatoes, these nice big green heirloom tomatoes that we sure love, and they are just not ripening. I mean, I got plenty of them in there, just needed a little bit more weather cooperation and didn't get any. The salsa tomatoes, which are very good, and you can see I've got bountiful supply of those. Those are starting to ripen, but they're like onesie twosies, and if you wanted to make a big batch of salsa, which we do like to do, you don't want to just do them 1 and 2 at a time. You want to do a whole batch, but it is what it is. Hopefully, well, these will move along. But these guys, these Brandywines, they're just green and hard. This one is starting maybe, and a few of the small ones, but unfortunately that's about it for the tomatoes, and just hope for the best right now. And pretty darn soon we're going to trim this asparagus back and mound it up and winterize it. Oh wow, look at this. Deer came and sampled this one. How about that? Huh. So the peppers, kind of the same story as the tomatoes. Here I got a lot of them going, but they're just going to be puny, and This is about as big as they're going to get right here. I've picked some. Carol's put up some. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of heat. There just wasn't enough stress this summer, I guess, to, you know, get them to have a lot of chili flavor. The Serenos down here, yeah, lots of flowers, but no peppers. Well, there's a few here. Maybe I'll throw those on the grill tonight. I guess there are a few, but that's about all we've got. And the jalapenos taste like a green pepper. They just don't have hardly any heat to them at all. Not good for salsa. Now here's something I didn't know what to expect. I'm going to pull all of these up. Here's our sweet onions. These guys kind of wanted to almost work themselves out of the soil. But that's all the bigger they got. Some of them anyway. Here's another one. There you go. That's it. That's not what they showed on the picture. That one has got a little bit of size to it. But I guess one thing about the onions is they sure don't take any work, and they don't take up any room, so it's like, why not? But certainly not real big or real bountiful. Now, one thing I am going to do this year, my spiritual advisor Brian takes his pepper plants inside. Now these are too big to take inside. I saw a video where a guy cuts them all back, takes off all the leaves, cuts them down to a few stems, and overwinters them. Because peppers are a perennial in the tropics where they originate from. Now Brian just brings his in a bag, and he has the grow lights and all of that stuff. I don't have that, so I'm going to try to make them a little bit more dormant, plant them off and put them by a window. And what's the worst they could do is not grow or to die. So especially these Serenos, I want to give those a good start next year. I don't know if I'll keep the jalapenos just because they're so mild. And certainly some of the green chilies will keep and try to overwinter them. Now this is something I'm definitely going to talk to Brian about. About a month ago, maybe a little bit longer, that end of August it was, so yeah, about 5 weeks ago, I rototilled this up and replanted my garlic in here. And I don't know, maybe some of them are starting to come up, but boy, not many. And that would be very disappointing because I really got hooked on the fresh garlic this year. He said I would, and I did. But I'm not seeing them. I got to talk to him about it and see what how his are doing. And now I got plenty of cilantro, but not too many tomatoes, so that's the way that cookie crumbles. And I replanted the dill. There's a little bit more of that. I'll probably make another batch of dill pickles, which are really good. And a little tiny bit of summer savory there that's left. I don't think that's going to be worth much. That's about it over here in the herb garden. Well, there's the squash harvest so far. I got 9 in the pumpkin. There's some tomatoes and the tomatillas in there. Now what you do with these guys is wash off all the dirt, dip it real quick in a very dilute solution of bleach, just like a thimbleful in a gallon or 2 of water. Dip it in real quick. That kills off any pathogens and mold and stuff on the skin, and then put it in the sun for a couple weeks, and that the UV kills anything else in there, and these things keep unbelievably long. We had one that we ate at the end of April last year, maybe it was the beginning of May, was still good. So if you cure them right, they will last a long time. So that's it from Better Get to Know a Garden right now. Yeah, I guess we'll do one more when we get everything buttoned up. Just pray for the tomatoes.